Coach, I'm sticking to the script.
You're going to stay with the script?
Yes, I'm staying to the script.
Okay.
So last year, the Golden Tornadoes finished at 5-5 overall, and this year you returned 20 players who started games for you last season. How does this help in preparing for the upcoming 2025 season?
Well, I mean, every season it's a new journey. You ask any of these coaches, these young men, to understand what a season entails. And we got some guys back. We also got some young guys coming in that are going to push now. And that's what you have to be able to move into the top of this very, very difficult conference. So although we got some guys back, we got some guys that we brought in that are, going to make sure that they try to steal some reps from them. Yep.
Considering how much experience you are returning, what will it take for your team to finish with the top teams in the conference?
Oh, my experience, personally?
You and the team.
Oh, okay, good. My experience has nothing to do with it. It's the experience of our guys. I think, honestly, it just the season takes on such a different vibe once we get into it. I mean, you guys know, and coaches know. I mean, it's not only the people that you got, up here, and we've all brought great young men that are going to be leading our country when I'm gone, but you go through the season and something happens at this position, and then something happens at the same position, and you get the same position again. You may lose 3 or 4 guys at that position. I mean, as coaches, we got to navigate through this, the programs that navigate through these things on a weekly basis and be able to take all of these things that happen during the course of a season. Sometimes we call it adversity, man, and really it's an opportunity for us to grow as a football program, to grow as young men, and just to learn about life, and that's what makes this profession so incredibly gratifying. And so with that said, the experience is fine. It really is. There's nothing like having guys that have been in the fire before. There's nothing like that. But you got to have some people behind them pushing those guys too, because as coaches, the thing that we want the most is we want our senior guys playing their best game at the end of their senior year. That's what you want. You don't want somebody leveling off early, and then their reps are getting eaten alive by somebody else.
So we've talked about the experience on your team. Now we're going to talk about your experience. You are tied for the longest tenure of any coach in college football, and you're the longest tenured coach at one school in Division III. What advice would you give in maintaining this sort of continuity and consistency?
Well, I mean, when we first started, we were in NAI. I remember a guy by the name of Coach Strom who was at Findlay. And when I took over the program at Geneva in '93, there were like 2 really great football programs. Findlay was one of them. The other one is 20 miles up the road from us on Route 18. His theory was always try to swim ahead of the Sharks. I thought that was an interesting comment by an old guy. And because I don't know, I've never seen him swim. But I honestly, I look at this thing and I say, all right, we've had some great people at Geneva. I've had the greatest kids to coach, and we got the greatest kids. Like, this is one of them right here. Now, he didn't come to our place originally because he thought he had to go to some hoity-toity place, but then he came to our place, okay? And you can talk to him about that. I just find it. There are so many people that are involved in a campus and in a coaching staff that make you successful as a coach. I've been blessed. I've got an incredible wife that's been with me forever, and she's staying behind me with my family. Our administration, Van Zanik, is our athletic director. Of course, he never comes to this. He always schedules his vacation, which I think is ironic. But I brought our assistant athletic director, Rebecca Ditmar. She's been a director of football operations there at Geneva for a while. And I'm going to tell you, you guys know as coaches, if you got somebody that's able to push the buttons and able to help you along the way, she's probably more important in the success of what we've done than anyone. And, we have a president that was a teammate of mine. It's been a blessing. I don't want to get caught up in the whole emotion of this whole thing. I was telling Andrew as I sat down, you guys are like talking like it's my funeral. I mean, come on, let's get after it, because here's what's going to happen in September. All these guys were nice. We're shaking hands. Everybody's smiling. Everybody loves Jesus right now. Everybody's having a great time, right? And then in September, we're going to want to knock each other's heads off. I mean, honestly. I got beat so bad last year by W&J that Ed and I ended up in a hospital after the game. Yeah, thanks, buddy. All right. So in any event, I'm done. Yeah, he does not know any of the questions you're asking him. I did not prompt him at all, so this is going to be interesting. Come on.
All right, and now we'll turn to Roman for those few questions. Roman, you've started every game in college during your first 2 seasons at the collegiate level. To what do you attribute that kind of success to?
Well, first, I'd like to say thank you to everybody that has given me the opportunity to be here, and thank Coach DeMarco for inviting me. And I think ever since I was young, my mom and my dad have been, they've taught me about the cycle of continuous improvement, setting goals for yourself and achieving them. And when you do that, when you're challenging yourself and you're pushing yourself, it's not that hard to prepare yourself for anything in life, whether it be in the weight room, on the field, in the classroom. I think whenever you're pushing yourself and setting goals for yourself, it's not too hard. And I think that's what's helped me get to where I am today and what I've achieved so far and what I'm going to achieve for the rest of my life.
You transferred to Geneva prior to last season, playing another hoity-toity Division III before arriving on campus. You were a starter at both schools, and how would you rate the quality of competition in the PAC compared to that previous league, and what do you expect for the upcoming season in the conference?
My previous experience at my last school was great. I have no regrets going there, but being in the PAC is just a different level. The passion for football and the passion for the game is just unmatched here. I see everybody here today and everybody that I've played against this past season. I just see a sheer love of the game, and I think for this upcoming season, we've some really competitive teams this year. I think our team is going to be better. I know everybody else during spring ball made their teams better. And I think we're all ready to go get after it next week at camp.
Talking about you off the field, you're an engineering major and a leader, as well as a leader on the offensive line. You earned all PAC honors last season while receiving multiple academic honors. How have you been able to balance the demands of academics in a major such as engineering and football so well? And what area of engineering would you like to get into after graduation?
I think balancing two things you love is not that difficult whenever you love and you have a passion for those things, because I've loved the engineering aspect of school so much. I've always loved math and physics growing up, and now that I've been able to expand my knowledge in those areas through engineering and apply that to real-world scenarios, I think it's just something I'm truly passionate about. And then being with football, some of the stress from homework and everything, I get to release that during practice and in games. So it's easy enough whenever you are able to manage your time. And I think also whenever you're doing something that you love, it's not too hard to balance that and to get through it, even how tough it is, because you're so passionate about it. And when you don't have things that you are looking forward to, it's kind of tough to go through life that way. And in terms of engineering, I'm doing civil engineering right now, and I want to get into roadway design and helping the infrastructure and working our teams for helping our infrastructure across the country to make this country and the Pittsburgh area a better place.
Thanks, Roman. Thanks again to Coach DeMarco, not only for today, but for everything you've done in college football and at Geneva. The 2025 season for the Golden Tornadoes will begin September 6th when they travel to Widener University, and Geneva will be at home for their first PAC contest when they host St. Vincent on September 20th.